Hey y'all, welcome back to another NV Creations coin roll hunting video. As you can see here on the table, I've got 20 rolls of $half coins. This is going to be my first $half hunt, so bear with me. Maybe leave a comment on if I've forgotten anything, glanced over something, but for the most part I'm going to be looking for, I'd say 40%, 90% silvers. There are a few NIFCs that I might look for, but we'll come across that when we find something. Like I said, if I miss something, throw it down in the comments. Let me know. It's a new type of hunt for me, so we'll see what we've got. On my score sheet, I've got 1987s, 2002s to 20s are NIFCs for a 1 point. Silver Kennedys, 65 to 70, those are going to be the 40%, 5 points. 48 to 63, Franklin $half. I got 10 points if I come across the Walking Liberty, 20 points. And then I have Barber and seeded $half, which are 50 and 100 points. But who knows what we're going to come across. Like I said, this is a new one to me. It might be all new stuff. I do see some older stuff in here, but I am seeing a lot of 2023s. So without further ado, we'll get these off to the side a little ways and we'll dig into our first roll, see what we can come up with. Who knows? Might not be anything but a bunch of new stuff in here. I've looked through a few rolls in the past, but haven't found anything super exciting. If we zoom in a little bit, I don't know, get you guys a little closer, but I am seeing this one odd colored one here. We'll pull that out. And that, would you look at that? Our first roll in 1963, Franklin $half. I can't believe that. That's going to be 10 points right off the bat. That is absolutely amazing. I wasn't expecting that. We got a pretty worn out one here. It's going to be a 95 though. Nothing too crazy. Some newer stuff here. There's an 84, the year I was born. There's a 74. Not going to be silver, but older one for us. 2018. That's going to be an NIFC. Pretty cool. We're already finding some cool stuff. There's a 79. Some older stuff. Like I said, a lot of 2023s in there. But who knows? We might find something else in there. There's a 72. Old, but not quite silver. 2018, another one. 91, 96, and our last one's another 2023. So amazingly, on our first roll, we found this nice 1965 Franklin. Try to get that mint mark, but it's pretty worn out. Can't quite see it. I'll have to look under closer inspection. And then we got two 2018 NIFCs. That's going to give us 12 points on roll number 1. I cannot believe it. Off to a great start. Let's hope the rest of this hunt is as good as this. I'll get us cleaned up and we'll move on. Alright, well, let's dig into roll number 2 and see if this luck streak is going to keep going, or if we just somehow got lucky and found a Franklin on the first one. A lot of newer coins in there. I'm not seeing any silver, so I'll double check our dates, see if we can't find some NIFCs. There's a 78. There's a bicentennial. I've always liked bicentennials. I might hang on to those ones. Let's see how many of them I get in this hunt. There's a 71. That's pretty darn close to silver. Another 71, 77, 89, 94. Like I said, if I come across something you guys see that I missed, let me know in the comments so I can hang on to it. There's another bicentennial. No points on those, but still something to hang on to. And our last one's a 2018 NIFC. So we got our 2 bicentennials and 1 NIFC for 1 point on roll number 2. So I'll clean this up. We'll move on to 3. All right. Hopefully I can keep this video moving along quickly. Usually I do 10 roll hunts, not 20 roll, but with the $half, there's a lot less to look at. So we'll see what we got. 23, 23, 74, 23, 94, 23, another bicentennial. We'll hang on to those and see how many we get at the end of the hunt. Might be able to make a full roll. There's a 71, 23, 90, another bicentennial. There's 2 right back-to-back bicentennials. Like I said, there's no points. There's a 2018 NIFC, 88, almost an 87, 95, another NIFC 2018, and another bicentennial. Would you look at that? Roll 3 gave us 4 bicentennials and 2 NIFCs for a total of 2 points on roll number 3. All right, roll number 4 here. So I'm going to try to keep this moving along. So not seeing any silvers. So we'll check the inside. 83, 23, another bicentennial. 23, 89, 2018 is going to be an NIFC. Another bicentennial. Let me know if I'm doing this wrong with the 2018s. I looked online and it said 2002 to 2020s were NIFC, but there's a lot of misinformation out there, obviously. Maybe somebody with some coin background experience could help me out a little bit. A lot of 71s. So we're just going to have 2 bicentennials and an NIFC on roll number 4. So I'll put 1 point up there and we'll move on to 5. All right, next roll here. See if we can't find another Benji or Walking Liberty. Well, looks like we might have something in here. Get this wrapper out of the way. We got a dark one here. What do we got? It's going to be a 1965. So we got ourselves a 40% silver on that one. Sorry, I got it right out of frame there. So we are getting some silver, which is awesome. I'm not too lucky on the other coins for finding silver, but we're getting stuff. There's another bicentennial. 23, 77, 71, 82, 90, 23, 79, another bicentennial. There's 2 in that roll. Like I said, there's a lot of 2023s. They must have mass produced them. There's a 74, 93, another bicentennial. I think it's neat finding all the bicentennials, but I'm guessing they really packed a lot of bicentennials in there. So on this one, we just found our 1965 40%. So that's going to give us 5 points on roll number 5. So we'll get this cleaned up and move on. Well, here we go on to 6. Hopefully this is moving along quick enough for you guys. Keep you interested. Not too fast for you. Take our look. We got some beat up stuff. Some older and some newer, but I'm not seeing any silver. So see if we can't find any NIFCs in here. $2020, that's going to be an NIFC according to my list. So that'll give us 1 point. Another bicentennial. We'll stack that up. 71, 72, another bicentennial. So there's 2 of them. 71, and the last one's going to be another bicentennial. So we got 3 of them on that one in our 2020, which I got down for an NIFC. So 1 point for roll 6. Let's see what else we can get. On to 7 here. These are probably the easiest rolls I've had to be able to open. Alright, edge check. I'm not seeing any silvers, so we'll look for our NIFCs. A lot of 23s in this one. Might be a new roll. So far everything's been 23s. There's a 77. More 23s. 83. 89. Bicentennial for us. So we'll stack that up on our pile and see how many we can get. There's a 2018. Right behind it another bicentennial. We get a 74. 92, and our last one's a 23. So this one's going to have 1 point for the 2018 NIFC, and we'll stack up a couple more bicentennials. So 1 point on roll number 7. All right, we're getting in there. Roll number 8 coming up. These are kind of fun. Fortunately, I wasn't able to get a full box. This is all that my bank had, so I took everything. Looks like we're going to get another 40%er. That's a 1968, so there's 5 points. Not half bad. Let's see what we can get. I saw a bicentennial there, so throw that in. There's a 2001, not quite NIFC. 71, 23. 2018, there's going to be an NIFC. So there we're at 6 points on this roll. Alright, so we got our 40% here. It's not bad. And we got 1 NIFC. 6 points on that roll. Let's keep it moving. Alright, let's dig into roll number 9. Almost halfway through with this hunt. Hopefully, well, make a mess out of it. Hopefully we can find something good in there. A lot of dirty stuff. This one did look funny to me. Real dirty, but it's a 99, so nothing fancy there. 78. A lot of 23s. 81. There's a bicentennial for the stack. And 79 to finish it off. So all we got out of this roll was 1 bicentennial. So that's our first 0-point roll. Get this cleaned up. We'll move on to number 10. Hit that halfway point. All right. All right. Do I do one more and be like Matthew McConaughey? Okie dokie. I'm not seeing any. Everything's clad in there, so we'll see if we can't pull out an NIFC. Another bicentennial. Another bicentennial. Another bicentennial. There's 3, 4. And our last one's going to be a 72. So no points on that roll again, but we did find 4 bicentennials for the stack. So I'll punch a 0 in. Get a quick total for you guys so we can see where we're sitting at our halfway point. We'll move on to roll number 11. Alright, let's dig into roll number 11. Right now we're sitting at 29 points on this hunt. Giving ourselves a 2.9 points per roll. Let's see if we can't make that bigger. This roll looks very promising. Would you look at that? We'll start right here. We've got a 1965 40%er right next to it. A 1967 40%er, and down a little ways in the roll, we've got a 1965 40%er. 5 points each on those bad boys, so that's 15 right there. So let's see what we got inside. We got a 2018 for an NIFC, a bicentennial for the stack. Right behind it is another bicentennial for the stack, and right behind that is another bicentennial for the stack. This is a great roll. There's bicentennial number 4, NIFC number 2, 74. This was a good roll. 23. There's another bicentennial. Got a good pile of them. 95, 23, 18. That's going to be another NIFC. And our last one is a 2021, so yet another NIFC. So on this roll, we're going to get 15 points for our 3 40%ers and 4 points for our 4 NIFCs. And I can't believe it, but we found 5 bicentennials in that roll. That was a great roll. 19 points. Can't believe it. Way to start off the second half. Let's get this cleaned up, enter in our totals, and move on to roll number 12. All right, roll number 12. Let's see if we can keep this hot streak going. I might start hunting half dollars from now on. The hot streak is not hot anymore. I don't see any silver, so we'll dig through. 73, 23, another bicentennial. Stacked behind it is another one. 84, 82, 99, 91, 77, 2018's an NIFC. Another bicentennial. 72, 74, another NIFC 2018. Back-to-back bicentennials, and our last one's a 74. So this one we're just going to get 2 points for NIFCs, but we did find 5 bicentennials. Got quite the pile of them stacking up. So I'll throw 2 points on roll number 12, and we'll move on to 13. Well, here we go on to lucky or unlucky number 13, depending on how you feel about that. We'll see what it's got in store for us. Not seeing any silver, so we'll see what we got for dates. So far nothing good. We got one bicentennial. Do you guys save your bicentennials, or do you just toss them back? It seems like there's quite an abundance of them in these half-dollar rolls. I think it's fun to see how many we can get. A lot of 23s here. 23 and a 23, so no points, but we'll get a bicentennial for the stack on lucky roll number 13. All right, well, let's see what roll 14 has in store for us. Here we go, roll 14. All right, edge checks, not showing any silver, so we'll look for them NIFCs. 74, 23, there's a bicentennial. So far nothing good here. 77. A couple 71s back to back. I think our hot streak might have gone away. We got one 2018 NIFC on that roll, so 1 point on roll number 14. Get this cleaned up and we'll move on. Roll number 15. Do you guys enjoy half-dollar hunts? I sure do. This has been fun. No edges there, but we'll go with one bicentennial off the bat. 2020, that's going to be an NIFC, so there's 1 point. Another bicentennial. Another bicentennial. Another bicentennial. Definitely an abundance of those. And our last one's an 83. So that one we got 4 bicentennials and our one 2020 NIFC for 1 point. So clean this up and we'll move on. Alright, roll number 16. We haven't found any silver in a while, so hopefully one of these next 5 will prove us. It's not going to be that one. So let's see what we can find for. There's a 2018 and a bicentennial, so we're going to have at least 1 point. And a bicentennial to throw in the pile. Another bicentennial. Another 2018, so that's 2 points for NIFCs. Another bicentennial. Another bicentennial. And a 98 to finish it off. So roll number 16 is going to give us 2 NIFCs and 4 bicentennials. So we'll get 2 points on roll 16. We'll move on. Here we go to roll 18. Come on, silver. Not seeing any silver. So we'll see what they got for us. There's a bicentennial. There's a bicentennial. There's a 2018. There's a 2018. Finding a few not intended for circulations. There's a 2000, but that's not going to be in there. '71s. Lots of '71s. Alright, well, come up with 2 bicentennials and with 2 2018 NIFCs, so 2 points on roll number 17. Still getting points. So far only 3 rolls have given us a wash on our points, so this has been fun. Alrighty, righty, to number roll 18 here. That one isn't going to open as nice as the other ones. Probably because it's got something good in there, which it does. I don't know if you can see that, but looks right there. We're going to have ourselves a 1968. Going to get ourselves a 40 out of it. 5 points. Can't complain. There's a bicentennial. Another bicentennial. Another bicentennial. 2018 NIFC. Sure makes the dates easy to look on these big coins. All right. Roll number 18 gave us 3 bicentennials, 1 2018 NIFC, and 1 68. 40%. So that's going to give us 6 points on this roll. Not too bad. We got 2 more left. Let's see what they have. Roll number 19 coming up. Not seeing any silver, so we'll check out what we got. There's a bicentennial. They sure must have produced a lot. I'll have to check to see what the mintage numbers are on bicentennials, because it's just outrageous. A lot of 23s here. There's another bicentennial and then another one right behind it. 81, 23, 23, 23, and an 83. No points on roll 19, but we did pull 3 bicentennials. I'm getting quite the pile of them. Get this cleaned up. We'll move on to that final roll. Here we go, on to our final roll. Search this one out, and then we will get a total on the hunt. Hardest roll to open so far. And just push them out the side. All right. Not seen any silver, so we'll see what we got inside. We'll start off with a 2018. That's going to be an NIFC. There's a bicentennial. Another bicentennial. Another one right behind it. That's 3 so far. Another one. And our last one's going to be a 90. So we just got the 1 NIFC on this roll and 4 bicentennials. Let me get this cleaned up and I will give us a recap of the hunt. Alright, well here's the recap of our hunt. We did 20 rolls. We got a total of 63 points. That's a 3.15 points per roll average. We got 6 40%ers, 1 90%er. We got 23 not intended for circulation. And just for fun, our bicentennial count, we got 54 of them. I might save a couple of rolls, throw them up on my website if anybody's interested in them. Who knows? This was a great hunt. I think this has so far been my favorite hunt just because there's so much silver in there, I think. I mean, the quarters are great because you get all of the different designs and stuff. It's fun to look at all that, but it seems like we got quite a bit of stuff out of these 20 rolls. On that note, folks, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Give us that thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Makes me feel good seeing all them likes come in. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Most of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed yet. I would like to get that subscriber count up. That's another thing that makes me feel great. I'm going to throw all these silvers up on my website and maybe a couple rolls of the bicentennials. If any of you guys are interested in picking those up, I use the CoinSnap app to take pictures of these coins. It gives me a grade and a value range. I put the lower value down there. Pretty inexpensive usually to pick up a coin. If you're missing something for your collection, you can check that out at nvcreationsmontana.com. If you throw out comments, let me know if I missed something hunting on here. If you have a comment you don't want public, hit me up with an email at nvcreationsmontana@gmail.com. These links will all be down in the description, so you don't have to remember them. Let me know if you guys had fun on this video. I definitely enjoyed the $50. I'm going to go around to more banks and try to get more because this was just an absolute blast. But on that note, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.